Hello and welcome to the Art of Caro. In this video I'm going to show you how I made this headband crown thingy to match a outfit I'm working on. And let's just get into the video. Here I'm putting together my two shapes for the crown. It's a base layer of green and then a cut out overlay of beige that I'm just pinning and then roughly stitching together, and I cut it out like this just to make sure that it would fit nicely on my head. Otherwise it would probably have been nice to have some excess felt around it while I stitch it on, especially doing the outline, but I needed to make sure that it would fit well, and since this is the first version of this I'm making, I need to cut it out. Then I'm placing a glass gem in the center, and I've left a outline, or like a cutout for it. And it's a sew-on glass gem, so it has sort of spaces in the back for the needle to pass through. Then I'm stitching on some gold, this is called bullion thread, or like Channetille wire or bullion wire, I don't remember, but I'm stitching that all around the edge of my shape. And this is actually really hard to track down in Sweden. I had to look in a lot of places online before I found a retailer that carried it. Then I'm stitching on some fake pearls around my glass gem. And I kept to 3 different colors for this headband slash crown thingy. The green, the white and the gold. Then I'm adding some seed beads around that outline of pearls, and I think it's Myoki beads. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, and I'm not sure that they are that kind of beads, but I think so. I have some gold Myoki beads. Then I went on to stitching on a outline at the top edge of the headband with seed beads and some faceted beads. And the faceted beads are this sort of oval shape, and the seed beads are round except for those closest to the edge, which are a bit more almost a cube shape, or like they are sort of faceted also, but not as much. I don't know how to describe it. Just mixing beads to make it a bit more interesting, both in the look and for me when I'm beading. And this is a very relaxing thing to be doing, actually. It's a very relaxing hobby. Then I'm placing those fake beads at the lower edge of my crown at the connecting points, and then I'm continuing with my gold seed beads and some other faceted beads that are in more of a so crystal shape. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I'm placing those in between the pattern that I'm making with the pearls. So in the middle, under the green spaces, essentially. Just keep going. This headband did not turn out as heavy as I thought it might be, but that is something you should probably keep in mind when you're doing this, how much weight you're willing to have on your head, because if it gets too heavy it won't be pleasant to have it on your head. Then I'm filling in the other gold shapes with some seed beads and some different gold beads. after what will fit and what I think will look nice, and sort of just to make it more interesting for myself when I'm beading. I'm adding a couple of different ones, but it also creates a bit more interest when you're looking at it. And then I'm filling in my green spaces with green beads. As you can see, I have some lighter green beads, but the dark green background sort of cancels that out, so it makes the beads sort of mesh with each other, even though there are quite a bit of difference between some shades of it. I'm just placing the beads after what will fit and what will look cohesive. So here are done the outer sides. And then I'm placing another glass crystal, sew-on crystal, or gem, whatever you want to call it. And this is a bit of a smaller oval shape. And then I'm placing some smaller white pearls around the edge of that. And then a outline of gold beads around that. And then I'm filling in more of the gold outlines. Or like connecting outlines that connects the different gold patterns, I guess. And then I'm continuing to... and here I'm actually placing another glass crystal. I had forgot about that. I'm stitching that one on, it's also sew on, and then I'm placing a ring of beige felt around it to give the gold a bit more height. And I did this thing with the beige felt just because the green beads are a bit bigger, and especially the crystals are a bit higher, so I didn't want the gold to sort of disappear in it, so this is giving it a bit more of a sort of platform to be sewn to. So I'm sewing gold beads around the crystal, and then I'm stitching some white beads that sort of looks like the pearls around that, because it's a smaller shape. And then I'm picking out some more green beads to fill in the space around the crystal. And as you can see on the background, it's starting to be a lot of stitching going on. So I'm just filling in the shape there. Using two different kind of beads, I think, or maybe all the same. Anyway, I'm just making sure that everything is filled in, and where it's a small space, I'm adding a small green seed bead. Then I'm placing a pearl in the middle of one of my green areas, and then I'm placing these sort of teardrop shaped beads around it to make sort of a flower shape. And then I just fill in the area around it with seed beads and other beads, just to make sure I don't have any felt visible. And that's basically what I'm doing in these green spots, just filling them in where the beads fit best, and just making sure that there is no felt visible, and making it all sparkly. And it's sort of interesting to see the difference between the faceted beads and the crystals, because of course there is a sort of metal backing to the glass crystals, which gives them a bit more of shine and a life to them, and the faceted beads just reflect light. It doesn't sort of reflect it from a backing, so it glitters in different ways, and that's the shapes filled in, except for one side. I will have to keep going to fill it all in. And then I cut out the shape out of fake leather, and then I stitched some elastic to it. And this is to provide more stability to the headband crown thingy. The felt will stretch on its own, so I can't attach a elastic to it without risking stretching it too much. And then I'm adding some fabric glue, textile glue, between those layers, just to provide a bit more hold and stability to it all. And I just leave that to dry for a while. I think 24 hours is what's recommended on the bottle. And then I'm stitching the 2 layers together. Just whip stitches around the edge. And I have to do it in the right direction to work with the bullion thread, bullion wire thingy. And this is the final crown, and I am so happy with how it turned out.
And that's it for the video. I'm very happy with how this turned out, and I was a bit worried that would it be too heavy, but it isn't. It's great. And the rubber band keeping it on is not too tight and not too loose, and I think if I would have used a bit more of a sturdy rubber band, it would have been too tight and it wouldn't have worked as well. So if you're doing this, make sure you have a rubber band that have the right kind of tension. It may need to be replaced if it because it's going to lose its elasticity over time. But I think it's going to be fine for quite a while. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more of my videos in the future, you might want to subscribe and hit the notification bell. May the stars shine upon your faces and have a glorious day. Thank you and goodbye for now.